Hi, welcome to Ethics for Behavior Analysts by John Bailey and Mary Burch. We're here in Edmodo to study task lists for the BCBA exam in 2013. The task list that we're working from is in Appendix A on page 294. And what we're going to do for this session is review the terms and definitions with a little bit of discussion about each topic. And in the next session, we'll come up with some case studies, do a Google Hangout, and discuss which ethics apply to those case studies. I'm going to discuss a little bit and read these terms and definitions. Not that I don't think that you can read, but sometimes watching and listening to the audio and then reading the information on your own or in the reverse helps cement it. And we're studying. We are studying for an exam. So ethics isn't fun, but we're going to study. We're going to pass this exam. We are going to get the highest scores ever. So, task list 1 is the ethical conduct of behavior analysts. And I'm doing this on Edmodo so that I can share it with you. And you can watch it. And then when we do a Google Hangout, you can surprise me with how fluent you are in this category of knowledge. And you guys can make your own presentation for me to watch on something else. So, number 1. The responsible conduct of a behavior analyst. The behavior analyst maintains high standards of professional behavior within the professional organization. And they do that by relying on scientific knowledge. Our profession is evidence-based. It is based on years of knowledge and research. We have a responsibility to adhere to scientific knowledge in service delivery, research, and scholarly endeavor. 2, competence. We must be competent in an area to deliver service in the area. If you are not competent in the area, you must get competent in the area. Getting competent in the area could include reading journal articles, going to conferences, getting a training, consulting with another, or referring out because you don't yet have the confidence and competence in that area to deliver services, and you could harm the client. We don't want to harm the client. We're in the helping profession. Do no harm. That's the golden rule. That drives the profession and the reliance on scientific knowledge. Fundamental. So, that being said, you can see why professional development is extremely important, and there's conferences all over the planet that we can go to on trips, on ships, on planes. They're everywhere. We have to keep up on workshops and readings and journal articles as new information comes out, and social media makes it more possible for people to connect and Twitter and follow, and things are going to get updated rapidly from the scientific community, and new knowledge could impact procedures and thinking in our field. Or they could change what something's called again, and you'll be calling it something else, like establishing operation or motivating operation, and you won't know what's in if you're not keeping up. Behavior analysts have integrity. They are truthful and honest. We all know what it's like to work with or observe people who are not truthful and honest and lack integrity in their field. But we are not going to be those people. We are going to model truth and honesty in our profession. We're going to conform to all the legal and moral codes of the social and professional community of which we are a member. And that could be several at one time. But we're going to conform to them because that's what we do. And we're going to do that by adhering to these principles, because these principles and these ethics are designed to protect us within the frameworks of all the other ethics that we have to work under. Someone thought about this. The activity of us behavior analysts falls under these guidelines. And when that activity is part of our work, or that activity is behavior analytic in nature. So if you're doing something outside of professional guidelines that's behavioral analytic in nature, you need to apply these ethical guidelines to that. If our ethical responsibilities ever conflict with the law in some way, we have responsibility to make it known what our commitment to these ethics are and resolve the issue within accordance of the law. We come in contact with many other professions, people, families, scientists, researchers, clients. We have responsibility to maintain professional relationships, not develop dual relationships, not encounter social relationships or encourage social relationships or accept bartering or exploit clients or enter in any non-professional relationships with clients. You are not friends with the family and the people that you serve. It's a professional relationship. You work quite closely with people. It is unethical to enter into any sexual type relationship with a supervisee, student, researcher, or client. It is not done. The behavior analyst never engages in behavior that's demeaning or harassing in any way to a client, discriminating in any way to a client. When the behavior analyst experiences a problem that comprises or complicates service delivery and could interfere with their effectiveness, they refrain from providing service. If their personal circumstances are interrupting and interfering with service delivery, they don't provide service because harm could be done, and we do no harm. Dual relationships and conflict of interest. We don't promise personal, scientific, professional, financial, or other relationships with people if it appears likely that such a relationship might impair the behavior analyst's objectivity or otherwise interfere with their behavior analyst's ability to effectively perform his or her functions, or might harm or exploit the other party. If you find to unforeseen factors that you have found yourself in a multiple relationship or a conflict of interest where your ethics are compromised and the client is in danger of being exploited, you have an immediate responsibility to consult a supervisor and manage that situation in compliance with these guidelines. That covers task list 1. What I'd like you to do between this session and the next session is read through those again, listen to this video again, and I'm going to post some case studies that I would like for you to identify by number. You don't have to write it out, but look up, in that first list, which task it was and which letter. Maybe it was task 1A or 4B. And just identify for the case study which ethical principle is applicable. And then we will move on to task 2. Thanks for playing.